It's kind of hard to say. Like, we say he doesn't move the needle, he is the needle. But he is, though, man. I'm just sorry. Like, all eyes are on him regardless of what he's doing.
Welcome back to Gojo and Golic, Mike Golic Jr. and Mike Golic Sr., and it is one of the most wonderful weeks of the year. It is Masters Week, and that is where we head now to get a little taste of what's getting ready to come up at Augusta. We're joined by ESPN's Michael Eaves, who's obviously doing a great job always hosting SportsCenter, but is going to be a big part of the Masters coverage. He's hosting segments down from Augusta. He'll be hosting the 2-hour practice round show on Wednesday, starting at 10 a.m. on ESPN Plus, as well as player interviews as the weekend gets going. And Michael, where does this rank for you in sports weeks among the calendar year, getting ready to get started down in Augusta?
It is my absolute favorite. And it has been, Gojo, even before I came here, started to work for ESPN. As a kid, my dad and I bonded golf, and I've been a golf nerd my entire life. And this is by far my favorite event. It's my favorite week. It's not my favorite sport. My favorite sport is definitely the NBA and basketball in general. But my favorite event has always been the Masters because it's a couple things. One, to me, it's always felt like the official kickoff to spring, right? I don't care where you live, whether it's in the Northeast or in Kentucky where I grew up or even in California, it's the official kickoff for spring. And also for the golf season, because now the clocks have changed. And I grew up in the central time zone, right? So the coverage would go off like 5 o'clock each day. And I still had a couple hours of daylight to go in the backyard and, practice my golf if I wanted to, or ride my motorcycle, or whatever I want to do. So you just had more time after to go do things. And that's why I think for a long time, this has been my favorite sports event on any sports calendar.
Before we jump into individual players, which would include Tiger, overall, we know when Liv started, there was that animosity, and Rory talked about it a lot, that kind of kept that alive. We were never sure from the player side where that was. Now the players are all talking about we need to get back together. So from last year at this time, was there some animosity? And right now, is that changed?
Oh, the animosity was real last year for sure, because that was the first time that a lot of those guys had been in the same place at the same time since the split, since the guys left. Because you had Koepka, you had Mickelson, you had Sergio, you had Patrick Reed, right? All those guys, well, 3 of those 4 guys I mentioned had won here, and that's why they were here. But a lot of those guys were also sort of the main vocal people of leaving in that regard, and especially Phil Mickelson, the part he played in it. So that animosity was real, for sure, no question. Now it's not nearly as bad as it was, even close. A lot of those emotions have faded a little bit from some of the players. Not all of them, don't get me wrong, not all of them. But some of it has faded a little bit. And the fact now that the PGA Tour itself is trying to do business with the same group, the PIF, who funded Liv to begin with, right? So you can't be trying to take money over here and talk trash about the people who got the money first, right? So a lot of the animosity obviously has died down. It's still interesting to find out where we're going to go with it. But, yeah, it's not nearly as bad as it was last year.
So that a bit on the back burner this year. Front of mind for everybody certainly is always going to be Tiger Woods the minute he steps foot on this. How much does he change the energy down there, Michael, even in his current state, knowing physically how limited he is?
It's kind of hard to say. Like, we say he doesn't move the needle, he is the needle. But he is, though, man. I'm just sorry. Like, all eyes are on him regardless of what he's doing. He just has this natural attraction that makes you want to know and see what Tiger Woods is doing. And he was the first player on the practice range yesterday, the very first one. And you could see people in the background running over to get a position just to watch him hit balls and warm up, right? And then he got on the golf course a little bit, and he always has a crowd when he plays. But it's for different reasons, though. One, because of all the past success that he's had, right? He's won here 5 times. Can he win 6? Can he tie Jack Nicklaus? That's natural intrigue. But also, we just haven't seen him much. We haven't seen him play much golf. A year ago here, he made the cut, 23 in a row, that tied the all-time record for most consecutive made cuts. But then the next day, it was cold. It was rainy that morning. It was so wet. He was limping. He looked terrible. He walked off. Well, they stopped playing after 6 holes, and he withdrew. And we didn't see him again, right? For a while, we didn't see him again. And then just this year, though, he played one event, his event there in Los Angeles, the Riviera, played the first round, and second round, he left after 6 or 7 holes because he was sick. So we just haven't seen him play much golf, right? And so you have that intrigue as well. You put it all together, man, like he's by far the most watched person on the golf course, and more questions about Tiger Woods than anybody else.
Without a doubt. I mean, you just hope he makes it. You're a casual fan. You hope he makes a cut, and then God forbid on Sunday he's on the first page of the leaderboard. I mean, they talk about ratings. As far as the golfers that we're looking at to win this thing, Scotty Scheffler right there. But where are we with Rory now? His last major was 24 years old. Now he's 34. Been 10 years. We thought, is he the next Tiger Woods way back when? But it's been one hell of a drought for him.
It has been. And I think there for a while, Mike, even Rory was asking himself that. Where is Rory? What about Rory right now? The last 2 years, even during a lot of that LIV controversy where he was basically the face of the PGA Tour and saying so much about it, there were times he was playing really well. Like he played some good golf, won some good golf tournaments, won the Players a couple years ago. But when he got here or even at the other majors, he just couldn't pull through. Now he's got a lot of demons here, obviously, from what happened way back ago. This would be the 11th time he's had a chance to complete the career Grand Slam, and he just haven't really come close. Except maybe 2 years ago, he kind of backdoored himself into a top 2 or top 3 on that Sunday. I don't know the answer, Mike, to be quite honest with you, and I'm not sure he does. Like even at the Texas Open last week, he's been doing some new things with his driver and some other aspects of his game, and I think that's why he played the week before to see how that was going. But a couple rounds he didn't play well, then he played great on Sunday. Right, but you need 4 rounds. you got to play well for 4 rounds if you're going to win a major championship, and he just hasn't been able to do it. And I'm not sure what the real answer is to why. And I know he's been searching for that answer. Whether it was putting at one point, he was missing greens here. He just can't pull it together. And I don't know if this is a hard place to pull it all together. I'll just say that hard place to pull it all together.
So if it's a hard place to pull it all together, then we can look at some of the favorites. Scotty Scheffler, the world number 1, the odds-on favorite at most places to win this. Certainly Jon Rahm coming back as the defending champion now with the LIV faction of golfers. Who should be the favorite, Michael? And then who's someone you're keeping your eye on you think has a chance to break into that group this tournament?
Scotty Scheffler should definitely be the overwhelming favorite, and he is. I believe his odds right now are the shortest all time, except for Tiger. And maybe Tiger had 2 or 3 instances where he was a shorter favorite than Scotty Scheffler. No one in the world has played better than Scotty Scheffler over the last 6-8 months. So he should be in the position that he's in. The next best player that behind Scheffler has been Wyndham Clark. And Wyndham Clark would have 2 other wins if not for Scotty Scheffler. He finished second to him both Bay Hill and the Players. But we haven't had a rookie win at Augusta National since 1979. That was Fuzzy Zeller. And it's kind of weird that a U.S. Open champion is coming to Augusta as a rookie here, but that is the case for Wyndham Clark. Jon Rahm as a defending champion, and also over the course of his career, he has a lower score relative to par than any player during that span. But he hasn't played well this year on LIV. He had a good finish in the very first event down in Mexico at the beginning of the year, but since then he hasn't played well. I like Brooks Koepka just because I think he's mad he lost last year. Brooks plays mad or a little upset. He plays well. And I think he won the PGA Championship, Gojo, last year because he lost the Masters. I really believe that. And so if coming down Magnolia Lane triggers some of that bad feeling from last year, I think that is enough motivation for him to go out there and play really well.
All right, Michael, only about 30 seconds left. Pimento cheese, how many of those sandwiches you have? Or are you picking something else?
So I love pimento cheese. I grew up eating it. I used to eat one every day when I first got here. So I would put 10 away easily. Now, though, I only allow myself to have them on the weekend. So I only have 2. I have one on Saturday and one on Sunday.
Wow, nice control.
You know, that's impressive self-control there. That's growth, and we love to see that. We love to see Michael Eaves covering the Masters down in Augusta National. Check him out as a part of ESPN's coverage all week long in Augusta. Michael, thanks so much, brother. Enjoy this great week, and hopefully we'll talk to you again soon.